movie was about.
Yeah. Yeah. Lights, camera, action is going down. For my ATL movies, when we run this town with your host, T-Will, yeah, keeping it real. From the A to the screen, you can feel the thrill. Rolling with the classics, we're setting the pace. Highlighting the magic of our soulful space. Got the vibe, got the crew, making it tight. When the screen lights up, everything feels right. Grab your popcorn, let's make it loud. T-Will, T-Will. It's movie time, ATL style. Stand proud. From the silver screen to the hearts we steal. T-Will, T-Will. Every frame we capture is a real deal. Yeah. Talking premieres where the stars align. ATL views, yeah, they really shine. Behind the lens, capture.
Movie fans out there, movie fans, ATL fans, ATL culture. How we doing, movie world, Boys in the Hood world, everybody who loves Boys in the Hood, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's your host, T-Will, and I am blessed enough, I am lucky enough, God loves me, because today I got not only Trey, okay, from the waterboyz, but I got B Rich as well. And y'all, we are talking about Boys in the Hood. Trey, how you doing, man? All well?
I'm doing good, my brother, man. Yeah, happy to be here with you as always, man. Ready to talk one of the great movies of our generation. You know what I mean? One of the great generation, one of the great movies of our generation, and a movie that that played a role in my teenage years, man. So yeah, what's up, T-Will?
Hey, man, not a whole lot. Super excited to see this movie. Guys, I can't think of a movie in 2026 that compares to Boys in the Hood as far as the impact that it had on African-American culture and the culture in general. Just a phenomenal story. When this movie comes out, everybody lost their collective minds. And to those of you who don't know, who may not have been around at that time, the name of the movie, Boys in the Hood, was inspired by a song from Eazy-E that was called Boys in the Hood. Now, what we're looking at now is a 64 Impala, or, you know, as we call it, a 6'4", okay? If you know, you know. We got some folks in the chat. We got John McPolly. Hello, brother. How are you? Long time no see and talk, John. How you doing, man? Hope all is well. Yeah, so Eazy-E released a song, and I'm going to be honest with you, Trey. I remember where I was. I had on a black shirt. I had on some khaki pants. I had on some black shoes. It's Friday night. I think it was like the Friday night Fresh Fest or something on B103, but they would preview songs on B103 and
Fresh Party
song. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And they played this song, and I will never forget it. And it really changed the landscape of rap. It changed everything. And I want to see if you can finish this lyric, finish this verse, all right? Cruising down the street in my 6'4", jocking the freaks, clocking the dough, went to the park to get the scoop.
Knuckleheads out there, cold shooting some hoop.
Yep, there you go. There you go. I love it, man. But hey, in all seriousness, man, great movie inspired by this song. Rest in peace to Eazy-E. Always been a fan of Eazy-E, NWA, man. Love their music. Look at it a little differently when I got older, but back then, I think we can both say it was probably the soundtrack of our lives from the late 80s to the early 90s.
Oh, no doubt. And I'm gonna tell you, one of the real cool things about this song and this movie, when you think about Boys in the Hood, you think about who wrote Boys in the Hood.
Yep.
The writer of Boys in the Hood is Ice Cube.
Yep.
Well, who is one of the main stars in the movie Boys in the Hood? Ice Cube.
There you go.
I mean, so who would have known at the time when he wrote this, probably some 6-7 years earlier, at least 6 years earlier, maybe 5, 6, somewhere between that 5 to 7 range. I don't know exactly. I haven't done the research on it, but somewhere in there, I'm sure there's nowhere in his thought process would he have envisioned that the night he wrote that song and came up with the boys in the hood are always hard.
Always
You know what I
hard.
mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if he even could have imagined this would one day lead to a movie, much less a movie that he would star in and that would kickstart a long Hollywood career for Ice Cube. So shout out to
Yes.
Eazy-E, one
Yes.
of the great entrepreneurs of the music business, one of the great personalities of the music business.
Yes.
And shout out to Dr. Dre, the whole NWA, and shout out to Ice Cube for putting the pen to paper and penning Boys in the Hood that, like you said, inspired the movie, inspired the title of the movie.
Amen, man. Amen. I could not have said it better myself. So Boyz n the Hood released in 1991, directed by John Singleton, the youngest ever Oscar-nominated director, by the way, at the time. Cast was Cuba Gooding Jr. as Trey Styles, Ice Cube as Doughboy, Mars Chestnut, Ricky, Lawrence Taylor as Fury Styles, Nia Long as Brandy, and Angela Bassett as Reba Styles. We're gonna get into to young Trey very briefly, but essentially the movie starts out. Trey and his friends are on their way to school. Their friend shows them not really a dead body, but kind of the residue, the blood from a dead body, everything that's going on with it. They go to class, the teacher's in class, and she's talking about the Native Americans and blah, 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 blah. And Trey is bored because you can tell Trey right away. Trey's a smart kid. And he's not really interested in the subject matter. So he's back there clowning around, right? And he cracks a joke. And she asks him, well, why do you always do this? And he's like, I'm a comedian. And she's like, well, why don't you come and teach the class? And he's like, sure, okay. And he comes up and he tells the class that, hey, the oldest body ever was found in Africa. That means that all y'all are from Africa. All y'all. And his friend, who walked to school with him, is like, I'm from Crenshaw Mafia. I ain't from no
I'm not from Africa. Right? I'm from Crenshaw Mafia.
Right? And this angers Trey. And we got Maggie T in the building. Maggie T says, what's happening? What's going on, Maggie T? We got King Atlanta support in the building. What's up, King? So Trey, let me ask you this. Why do you think at this time that that Trey, we're gonna do that a lot tonight, that Trey, your namesake in the movie, why do you think he got mad in this scene right here? Why do you think he got upset?
Well, number one, you know, no one wants to be called out and challenged in front of the class, and the whole class was laughing like that. It was just like I mean, you start seeing red. You know, your brain is like cold red when the entire class is laughing at you as a kid. Even as an adult, no one wants to stand up in front of the class and be laughed at. You know, but also one of the big things that I think, and you and I discussed this before, what his father taught him, because he was getting up teaching people what his father taught him. Because as we know, Fury Styles was a very, very intellectual brother.
Yes,
you know, who really understood what was going on with Black people, what we need to do. He understood our past, where we came from. And he understood where our ancestors came from, and so this is what he taught his son. And hey, when you a kid, look, man, my daddy said such and such, so you ain't finna tell me. And they challenged what his daddy said, and from that point on, hey man, once again, it's on. You know what I'm saying? In the words of Ice Cube.
That's God. You challenge what my dad. We got to fight. We might be friends, but we got to fight now, and they do. And culturally, the teacher, who is non-melanated, can't relate to Trey because she only sees Trey at school, which is fair. But if you've never been where Trey lives, if you don't understand what he sees on a daily basis, then the only thing you can go by is stereotypical information and stimuli that you see on TV, that you hear on radio. So she calls his mother and she's like, yeah, well, I'm assuming, do you have a job? Are you educated? And ask her some questions that really have nothing to do with the situation. Trey's mom, played by Angela Bassett, says, well, actually, I'm going for my master's. And yes, I do have a job, but I don't think you'll be seeing Trey again because he's going to live with his father. And then she says, or did you think we made them on our own? Which, is her way of getting her back. But it
Yeah.
kind of, John Singleton here what he's saying in this situation is that teachers in schools, be they black or white, green, yellow, whatever, you need to understand culturally where these kids are coming from, right? Because if I don't understand the culture, then I can't teach you, right? And I'll give you an example of that. Trey, I was a corporate trainer a lot of years. And I've trained adults, I've trained kids, right? Now, I'm training, it had to be a group of 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, or whatever. And one kid who was, I forget what, he may have been Pentecostal, but I asked him to come up in front of the class and talk about something. And he was very shy and very fearful, because in that religion, they are taught to be humble. They are taught to not boast themselves. They are taught to, you don't make a spectacle of yourself, right? And I'm doing the tie-in because I'm saying she just assumed Trey was violent because he's angry and he's got these tendencies. No, Trey sees violence every day, and quite candidly, absent of a father at a certain age, boys are going to act out, right?
If you remember, not to cut you off, if you remember somebody got beat up on the way either to school or from school. Remember in the dice game, dude got beat up. On my bad. I just wanted to.
No, you thank you for pointing that out. You're 100% correct. And that's probably Trey's everyday life. I mean, they're walking past a dead body on the way into school, so it makes sense that you're going to see that, right? I mean, if you're hearing gunshots every day, you kind of become numb to it, but it also becomes a part of you. You get what I'm saying? So she didn't understand that. It's fine. Anyway, Trey comes home. Mom has a discussion with him. She says, the last time we talked about this, you agreed that if you had one more mess up, you were going to go live with your dad. Guess what, buddy? You're going to live with your dad. So Trey goes to live with his dad, right? And he meets his friends. And I think in this picture, we got Doughboy in the striped shirt. We got Rick in the football shirt. We got little Chris in the gray shirt. And of course, we got little Trey back there. And he meets his friends, and, his parents have a conversation, and his mom's like, take care of my baby. And Furious is like, he's my baby too, and whatever. And they leave. And the first interaction that we see with Trey and the boys and his dad is, Furious says to Doughboy, hey, man, how about you rake my leaves? I'll give you $5. And Chris says, man, that ain't S. I can work for my uncle and get way more than that. And you know what his uncle does. We're not but we know what his uncle does, right?
Yeah.
And he says, well, I guess I'll have to get my son to do it. And you can tell that he has this plan, because it's kind of like, I don't know, from what I hear, folks who go into basic training, the first couple of weeks are really bad because they're trying to integrate you, right? So I think this is Furious's way of kind of getting Trey, this is how it's going to be, you know what I mean? And introducing some discipline into his life. So, we see Trey rake up the leaves. And he comes inside and goes in the bathroom. And this is when I laugh, bro. He looks over at the tub, and that tub is filthy. I mean, it is filthy, bro. And I think that's by design too. But Furious is lifting weights, and Furious says, all right, Trey, got to lay down some rules. You got to do X, Y, and Z. You got to clean the tub. Trey says, I got to clean that tub? He says, yeah, you got to clean that tub. And I think Furious does that on purpose. But anyway, whatever. They have this interaction. Trey, now that you're a dad, right? Because I remember what I thought when I first saw that. But now that you're a dad, give me your thoughts on when you first saw that scene at 16, and now that you're a dad and you have kids. Give me your thought on that.
Man, as a kid, of course, I thought, oh man, you gotta go live with your dad. Like, we all know if your dad's really tough on you, like most dads are, you like, oh man,
it's not gonna be fun.
It's not gonna be fun. It's gonna. I mean, I got my friends over here, but it's gonna be tough. Then, like I said, Dad told him go rake the leaves. Everybody else is playing. You see them in the street. Trey's raking the leaves. The sun starts coming down. He's tired. He goes in the house, and his father lays more ground rules down on him. So as a teenager when it came out, it made me like, boy, pops ain't playing. You know, fast forward now, many years later, I really respect the way Furious handled things with Trey. He understood the environment Trey was in. He understood the tight reins that he had to have on Trey to instill in him the correct things so Trey wouldn't fall astray. You can't predict what all the rest of the knuckleheads in the neighborhood or people you run across are going to do, but I can instill something in you to make sure at least you make your decisions be the correct decisions. You know, and if I can, and in this environment where so many people are getting hurt, so many people getting killed, going to jail, it's just so much foolishness going around. If I can at least try to help your decisions be the correct decisions, then I give you a better chance than everyone else. I can't predict what anybody else is going to do, but I can at least try to help you make the right decisions. And man, I love the father that Furious was. Like he really loved his child, and he wasn't playing, because when somebody broke in the house, but Furious had that. I can't remember if it was a 357 or 45. I think it was a 357. I think he had that three, or maybe he had a 44. Maybe he had that revolver, that old 44. But man, boy, Furious wasn't playing. Like he was a serious dude and a smart dude.
Yes, very much so. And it's interesting. He even says to Trey, you know, Chris and but he said Ricky and Doughboy don't have a father, and you're gonna see how they turn out. And at this point in the story, this is foreshadowing, because we do see how it turns out. And again, I'm not coming for single mothers, okay? Please don't. That's not what this is. I'm just saying, in the context of the conversation, this is what Furious is saying to Trey, okay? And you're right. You know, somebody breaks in the first night. It's funny because Furious hears it, fires the gun at him, and we see Trey wash it up, and he drops it. He goes, "Oh shit!" And he didn't hear it. And I think he may have peed on himself because it scared him.
He did. He did.
But it was, it was funny. It's the little things, right? And then so, Furious and Trey are out there, and Furious says to Trey, "Well, somebody must have been praying for that fool, because I swear I aimed at his head." And Trey says, "You should have killed him." And he's like, "Don't do that. I just would have been contributing to the cycle." And Trey doesn't know what he means there, but this is Singleton's way of showing us that these are the values that Furious is trying to instill within Trey. And we'll get into that much later. But we got a very important thing that happens here when the cops show up. What up, B Rich? How you doing, man?
What up, y'all?
What's going on, man? Hey, we're glad to have you tonight, man.
Yeah.
Now, y'all know B Rich and Trey. Y'all know them. They are well known in Atlanta and the globe. So y'all know them. Y'all know we got some superstars. But if y'all didn't know, B Rich used to work at the theater at Old National. Is that right, B Rich?
National 7, yes.
That's right. That's right. So he's seen this movie several times. I've seen this movie several times. Trey's seen this movie several times. So B Rich, just get comfortable, man. We just having a good time talking about Boys in the Hood. We may as well be in the barbershop, because that's what it's gonna be tonight, y'all. So so the police show up, right? And you have the non-melanated cop, y'all know where I'm going, and you got the melanated cop, right? And Furious says, "What took y'all so long?" And the melanated cop is like, "Let's hold on one second. Hold on, right away." He's trying
immediately.
Right. And y'all see where I'm going, right? He's like, "Oh, wait, hold up. No. Like, how dare you? How dare you even be upset with us, the LAPD? How dare you have the audacity to be upset?" That's what he's on, right?
Yeah, Ice Cube had that song "How to Survive in South Central." He's like, white cop, black cop showing out for the white cop.
Yes. That's what's going on. But it's also foreshadowing, because there will be an interaction later on in the story between Trey and the same cop.
And that same police officer.
And the same police officer. And so, the police officer says to Furious, "It's a shame you didn't get him, because it'd be one less N-word off the street." And Furious says, "Trey going inside." And the cop says, "Something wrong?" And Furious says, "Yeah, something wrong, but too bad you don't know, brother." And he may as well put quotation marks around it, because that's how he meant it. But again, just keep that in mind, guys, because there's going to be an interaction later on that's very important to the story. So we're going to skip to when they become teenagers. 7
Yep.
years later in my SpongeBob voice. And Doughboy's just getting out of the pen, right? Doughboy's having a party. Trey shows up. Now Trey has his gear on, man. He's fly.
Because he worked at the Fox Hill Mall.
Right. He worked at the Fox Hill Mall, right?
Yep.
Now, we were talking about malls that we liked growing up. B Rich, you said you were partial to Greenbrier. And of course, me and Trey being from the east side, we were all about that South DeKalb Mall. Now, I used to work at South DeKalb Mall. Y'all, I worked in merry-go-round. You remember those pants called Z Cavarici? I don't know if y'all do. I don't know if y'all remember them.
I can't say I do.
They were kind of pleated with the flap across it. But as I'm looking at Trey showing up to this party, it's bringing back memories of how I used to dress. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool, man. So, you know, Trey shows up. They're having the conversation or whatever. And we see Doughboy. He's huge. He's been pumping iron. He's fresh out the pen. We see Ricky and his baby, and we see Ricky's girlfriend, and they all live in the same house. And of course, we see Ricky's mom. And Ricky's mom kind of, I don't want to say she had a favorite, but she kind of had a favorite, right?
Yeah, she did. She did. Ricky, definitely had a favorite.
Yeah. So Trey, Rick, speak to that. It felt like Ricky could do anything that he wanted, but you guys speak to it.
I mean, it probably was because of the fathers. I think they had fathers, and she probably didn't like Dough's father. And then Dough was naturally bad, and Ricky was the good kid.
Yep.
So I feel like, she had favoritism.
Yeah.
Ricky, he played sports and was doing good in school, had a baby, and Dough was out there, slinging rocks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And hanging out with all the hoodlums.
Yeah. She definitely was partial and showed favoritism to Ricky, which later on in the movie led to one of the scenes that was kind of it was really sad to me from the aspect of how the energy came to Doughboy in that scene. And, of course, everybody knows what I'm talking about, but we'll wait to discuss that scene later on down the road. That was actually a heartbreaking scene for me to see the energy and what was put up upon Doughboy as being the reason for what happened. It was just terrible. Like in that moment, it was all about him and all the wrongs that he's done, man. So yeah, she definitely had a favorite. But when you got one, unfortunately, when you got one that's like B Rich said is getting in trouble, and you got one that's not, he's the athlete. I'm sure everybody loved him. When you're a really good athlete, everybody talks about you. Like you the guy that's gonna make it out the neighborhood. I'm sure everybody loved Ricky. And then you got the brother who is just getting out the pen. The mom she was just fed up with Doughboy-ish.
Well, so guys, that brings up a question, right? Because there's a scene when they're kids and she's literally talking to him and she's like, you ain't gonna be shit, you don't do shit, you don't do nothing but eat shit and sleep. But she's talking down to him. And he's a kid. So
I think it was because of his dad.
Right. But B Rich, this is what I'm asking. If you tell your child they're not gonna be nothing,
that's exactly what they're
not gonna do anything.
That's what's gonna happen.
Are you kind of leading them down that path, or what do you guys think?
Well, I have a saying on our show. I call it "speaking to the water," and that's what she was doing, speaking to the water. Yeah, and as her own seed, that's what she was planning. Yeah, that's what it became. Yeah, so you gotta watch what you say to your kids, man. You gotta be real responsible, because they're right there could have formed Doughboy. You feel what I'm saying?
You're 100% right, Rich. You'd be surprised at what your kids remember that you say. Because my kids tell me all the time, Dad, you said this, and I'm like, I don't even know who y'all talking about. This is 20 years, but they say I said it, right? So, B Rich, you're absolutely correct. You gotta watch what you say around kids, man. But we're gonna skip scenes here, and we're gonna go to when Trey. Well, no, I'm sorry, guys. There's one scene we got to get to because there's one more.
Furious in this scene right here talking about. Yeah, she might have had a chance of it.
There you go.
She didn't talk so much. But I tell you what. Yep. I tell you what. Though, she can cook some barbecue though. Yeah, that woman know how to make some barbecue.
and I got to be honest, the barbecue looked good, man. Even 30 years later, when I looked at it, that barbecue looked delicious. But I want to talk about as Trey is walking home. And he sees the kid running out into the street, grabs him, takes him to his mom. who's obviously on crack and tells her to, you know, watch your baby, keep him inside, and he's leaving. And old Ferris, okay, again, foreshadowing, pulls up on Trey, right? And the kid in the back pulls out the shotgun. And this is foreshadowing for what's going to happen later on in the movie. But here's the thing about it, and this is what I caught that I didn't catch the first 150 times when I watched it. When they're up on Crenshaw with the rest of them fools, as Ricky says, when they're up on Crenshaw and Ferris bumps into him, Ricky is like, "Hey man, what's wrong with you?" But when they roll up on Trey, he doesn't say anything, right? And they leave. Trey lives. We know what happened to Ricky. I wonder if Singleton is saying something here. And I just want to get your thoughts on it, right? Is he saying that if you ignore it, maybe you're less likely to get caught up in it? Is that just circumstance? Give me your thoughts on that, guys.
Well, I don't know if that's what he's saying, because the situations were different.
They were.
Why Trey didn't say anything and Ricky did. Ricky got bumped.
Right.
There was no weapon out. You bumped me. I just man on man. You didn't got physical with me. Trey instantly had a shotgun put up to his face. So I don't much to say.
I think it was two circumstances, because really it was the dude that pulled the gun on was the dude with the red hat, the skinny dude. Yeah, and he really just was like one of the goons. The problems with the dude with the Jerry curl, and that was the one that was, you know, the troublemaker. I just think they was riding around joyriding and picking on folks, and that's what happened with the Trey situation. I think with the Ricky thing, you know, he got bumped and he says the problem, and then the brother came out, put the gun. So he's like, there go them fools right there, because like it was an incident to where you would be mad, like, well, damn, he got a gun first, he gonna get shot, you know what I'm saying? So like they go right there, you know what I'm saying? They probably didn't remember Trey, but I see what you're trying to say, you know what I'm saying? Like how you trying to make that work, but you know, I just think that they were going around, you know, trying to start stuff, you know, like you know, I remember dudes used to go in my high school, they used to go around trying to find dudes with starters, man, trying to take their starters, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, definitely, man. I remember those starter jackets too, man. I remember everybody used to wear the Oakland A's. Oakland A's back then. Yeah, man, definitely. All right, so let's skip forward to, and Uzi 121 says Ricky snitched on Doughboy and the dude with the red hat. Okay, I don't know about that, but I don't know about that story.
Ricky
but okay.
Snitched on Doughboy and the dude in the red hat.
I have no idea what he's talking about. Maybe it's another movie.
Well, that might be Boyz in the Hood Part 12.
Exactly. the straight to DVD version. I have no idea, but hey, Uzi 1201, we're glad to have you, buddy. We are glad to have you.
Hey, what's up, Uzi 1201? Please explain what you mean, because maybe we.
I think he's trying to say that Ricky went and told Doughboy about Ferris, maybe.
Oh no, he talking about when Doughboy got locked up as a kid. Man, I can't remember. Did Ricky have something to do with Doughboy getting locked up?
No.
He was gonna go steal, and he's like, "Come on!" And they said no, so they went ahead and stole, and he got caught. I don't think his brother told him. I just think he got caught.
No, he just got caught because remember he was like, "Hey." Because Trey had to go fishing with his dad, right? They had just got the football back. And he was like, where you going? He's like, well, I'm going to the store. He's like, you ain't got no money. And Doughboy's like, I don't need no money. But
Ricky I don't think they told,
No, Ricky, where's he going to tell? He wouldn't have had time to do that, right? So, I don't think that's the case. But nonetheless, Uzi, we appreciate you, brother. We do. So let's talk about when Trey gets home, okay? And he brought his dad some ribs. And Trey says, hey, can you hook up my fade? Now, this took me back because my dad used to do my fade back in the day, long time ago. And I'm not going to call my dad out. I'm not going to say he used to mess it up. He was okay. His dad was a barber. He was okay. All right. I know you listen to dad up there. He was okay. All right. He wasn't what his father was. Now, my grandfather was a hell of a barber, but You know, my dad was all right, but this kind of brought me back. But Furious and Trey have the talk, right?
Hey,
because
man.
Trey's like, man, you getting old, man, you getting old. Like, you know, my kids are gonna be like, you old, granddaddy. And Furious says, wait a minute, why you talking about grandkids? He popped it with the comb. Popped it with the comb, right? Bam. And next we have
one of the greatest lies ever told in a movie that I've ever heard. Boy, this is one of the greatest lies ever told.
Hey, Trey, you know what I like about this part? Y'all gonna laugh. What I like about this part, I don't know if you got the part where he around the bug, but if you look at that part where he's talking to boys, telling the story when he meet the girl, if you look at Trey's hat, he has on a Georgia Tech. He got a Georgia Tech hat.
Nah, Georgia Tech hat.
And I was like, that's before like Atlanta was like mentioned a lot in movies and songs.
Yes.
I was like, man, he got a Georgia Tech hat on his snap.
Hey, but look, do you remember that was the plan? Him and Brandy was supposed to move to Georgia.
Yeah, because he was going to Morehouse.
The Morehouse and Spelman. They end up going.
Yeah. But guys, you know what's going on right here, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, and so his dad's like, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
And he's sniffing him, right?
Yeah, he's sniffing.
And man, this took me back. Oh, this took me back, y'all. Oh, this took me back. Oh, I remember my dad sat me down. He was like, wait a minute. I think I said something slick or something about it. He was like, wait a minute. Man, this took me back. And Be Rich, you are Trey, you guys are right. It is the greatest lie ever told. All right.
Yes, it is.
So much so that I had to capture it on film. So here's the girl. And by the way, shout out to whoever she is. But I know back in the day, my girlfriend who I saw this movie with got upset with me. Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah. All right. The girl I was dating at the time got upset with me because my mouth dropped when let me tell you something.
She was bad. She was bad back then.
Hey, yeah. You know what I mean? So Trey's telling the story. She pulls up and there you go with the bug and he's got the rims. And I don't think you can see the Georgia Tech hat there. But, you know, she comes up to him. You know, Trey talks about the story or whatever and how he goes over to the house and, you know.
Said, can you drive? Can you drive stick?
Yeah. Guys, tell me your thoughts about that scene when you first saw it and your thoughts about the scene now as grown men.
It's still one of them scenes, man, that it's one of the funniest scenes in the movie, especially when he said, I guess grandma smelled sex in the house. I just remember working at the movie theater, and every time that part came on, the whole theater busted out in laughter, man. It was just something funny, and you really couldn't hear him talking no more because everybody was laughing so hard watching the grandma walk up the stairs, and you see him falling out the window trying to put his pants on, running in the grass, man. That was funny.
Trey, give us your thoughts on that, man. Give us your thoughts.
Oh man, I thought it was hilarious. Like we all knew he was lying. And I will say, as a teenager back then, I felt the same way you felt, the same way you said your girlfriend at the time got mad. Yeah, when I saw her get out the vehicle in the movie, I was like, okay, Trey, do your thing, Trey. But as Trey kept going with his story, I was like, this is one of the greatest lies that have ever been told. This lie is so ridiculous. Like you say, the grandma, she come upstairs. Trey ends up jumping out the window, right? He was running through the yard later on in the thing. I just thought it was one of the funniest scenes, man. And it's even funnier now that I'm an adult, that I'm the age I am now. Just like, boy, young ninjas, boy. Just say anything
out here, man.
Say anything, man. Bro. Say anything, not to be looked at as a person who's inexperienced. Will say anything,
right?
Even to their own father.
Yes.
Even to their own father.
Yes. Yeah, because that was just male ego, man. Let me ask y'all a question. Do you remember what the grandma grabbed when she ran up the stairs?
She grabbed did she grab like one of them old pans, right?
No, she grabbed one of them knives, man. She grabbed one of them knives out the.
It was a meat cleaver. It was a meat cleaver.
I think it was a knife.
Grabbed a meat cleaver.
Man, I gotta confirm that one, man. I think it was a knife.
Look, I
gotta see that. I think it was a knife.
You gotta see it, bro.
I put money on it was a knife. and she walked up the stairs with a knife.
All right.
Let's bet on that.
All right, let's bet $20.
That's too rich for my blood. Let's bet $1.
Let's bet $1.
$1. There we go.
Bet it. Bet it. All right. That's bet $1. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah. All right. So he feels bad about it, and this is Furious, by the way. Whenever you see Furious twirling those balls in his hand, it's probably not a good thing for you, man. He's either in deep thought or he's pissed. But next day we see Rick and Trey, and Rick hops in Trey's car and slams the door, and Trey goes off. And Rick is like, damn, what's wrong with you? And he's like, man, I never lied to my dad before. And he's like, well, tell me about it. He's like, yeah, we were talking about sex, and I told him I had sex. And Rick is like, wait a minute, you haven't had sex? And he's like, no. And Rick burst out laughing, which is exactly what would have happened if you're around your friends and that is exactly what would have happened.
Okay. Hold on. Let me just intervene with one quick point. So no one is owed any money because both of y'all are wrong.
Really?
What was it?
Both of y'all. And what? Hold on, T. Will. What did you say she grabbed?
I said it was like a meat cleaver. A meat cleaver.
Oh, I thought you said one of those meat tenderizers.
No, I said a meat cleaver. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Be Rich, you owe T. Will. It's 100% a meat cleaver.
A meat cleaver? It wasn't a knife?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a meat cleaver. I thought you said meat tenderized one of, but you're right. She grabbed the meat cleaver. I just looked at it. I just put it up on YouTube. I show
it to us.
We gotta present the evidence, y'all.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's a meat cleaver.
Oh, that's a knife.
That's a meat
cleaver, bro.
That's a meat cleaver.
That is a meat cleaver.
That's a meat cleaver.
That is a meat cleaver.
Okay, I didn't know the name.
That is a meat cleaver.
It's still a knife.
It's not a knife. It's a meat cleaver.
It's a meat cleaver.
Hey, look, I thought you was talking about the little thing that you tenderize the meat with.
The tenderizer. Yeah,
that's what I thought
you
was talking about.
Saying at first.
Hey, bro, it's all good, man.
That's a knife to me, sir.
Hey,
that's not a knife,
bro.
That's not a knife.
It's all good.
Like a knife.
Next thing I know, we're gonna be calling. Axis knives because they cut.
Okay. Look, I didn't know that was the name for that knife.
It's all
it's
good.
It's not a knife. It's a meat cleaver.
I got the
meat cleaver is the form of a knife. Please, in the chat, can y'all agree with me?
Hey, chat, if you're out there listening, do you guys think a meat cleaver and a knife are the same, or are they different? If
they both cut meat.
They both cut.
So do axes.
Okay. So guys, if you think a meat cleaver and a knife are the same, drop it.
I ain't say the same. They're in the same family.
Okay. If they're in the same,
it's like
family,
this. Look. Let me show y'all something. Hold on.
Okay.
Like, look. It's like this. Let me cut my lights on. Hold on. Like. It's like this, guys. You got forms of knives. You got the big knife. You got the small knife.
Where's the meat cleaver in there, though? Where is it? Oh, it's not in the set. Okay.
Hey, listen. We get what you're saying. A meat cleaver does cut just like a knife. All right, let's get back to the movie.
Hey, Be Rich is committed to his. But there you go. Wait, is that? It's similar. Yeah, that's similar.
Yeah. That's similar.
That's similar enough.
It's a knife.
It's a meat cleaver.
Hey man, it's all good, bro. Either way, it's all good, man. So it's funny because Rick is laughing at him because he hadn't had sex until he says, "Well, why are you afraid?" And then he says, "Well, I don't want to be a dad." And then Rick goes, and this is the funny part. He goes, "Oh, okay." And it's funny
because he's a dad,
right? Because he's a dad, right?
Oh, okay, you're right.
You know, okay, you know what I mean? It's like a hit dog will holler. So yeah. All right. So let's skip again. Now this was funny because this is Trey and Brandy rationalizing on to do it before or after marriage. And they both make great points, right? And gentlemen, we're all about the same age. So I know this ain't for you young folks. Y'all don't even have these conversations anymore. But back in our day, okay, when we were kids, you know, if you were a dude and you were trying to, hey man, sometimes you face this. And she's like, well, I don't want to do it because I'm Catholic. And, you know, that's not a part of my religion. And Trey says, well, Catholics are the biggest hoochies. Round one goes to Brandy, right? And then Trey says, well, look, you say you want to wait until after marriage. We're going to get married. Why wait? Round two goes to Trey. And then she's like, well, you haven't even put a ring on it. And he's like, well, I'm not ready for that. And she's like, but you want to act like it though, right? Round three goes to Brandy. And they're getting mad back and forth. And finally, he realizes that this argument is silly and he just starts to laugh and joke with her. But guys, I know we've been through it. I want you guys to talk through what that was like back in the day and just any scenarios that you can think of that you can talk about that were similar to this.
Hey man, crazy thing is, man, Ricky paid the ultimate price so Trey could slide in the home plate.
Hey, on the part of the movie, look, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back to what you said, but the part of the movie where everybody was laughing was when he was crying and his face was right by the cooter. And everybody was looking. Everybody was like, "Yeah, yeah."
Oh man! Hey,
different crowd, different hour. That everybody was laughing at that part.
Hey man,
right there laying by the cooter.
Hey man, Ricky was a really good friend. He laid down his life for Trey.
So Trey could score.
That's a good point, Trey.
Because it's all about the team, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about the team, okay? Man. Sometimes he was the ultimate wingman, right? He's the ultimate wingman. But yeah, and we're gonna come back to that, right? Because I have we'll come back to that because it's interesting that you said that, Be Rich. But here we got Reva Styles, and we're going on in the film, and this is weird, right? So Trey's on the phone with Brandy on the landline phone. Okay. Now, you young folk, I know y'all don't know what that's about, but this was before cell phones when we had landline phones. Mm-hmm. And, you know, if you were a teenager, you probably never got off it. You probably used to piss your parents off with long distance and talking on the phone all the time. And Trey's laying on the couch. It used to be my favorite go-to position when I'm talking on the phone. Trey's trying to get his Mac on, right? He's like, yeah, girl, da-da-da-da-da. And his mom calls, and he's like, okay, mom, hold on one sec. Hold on one second. He clicks back over, or so he thinks. He says, hey, girl, when you gonna give me them skins? And she's like, Trey, this is your mom. And he's like, oh, my God. I'm sorry, mama. Okay, my bad.
Hey, you forgot the best part, though. He was like, so if my pops holler at your pops,
right,
your mom, you know, and that's gonna be like the incest thing.
We're gonna have to do that incest thing, right.
And then he was a lot like his pops, because he's like, what up?
Who this? No, remember he said, who this? Who this? Right.
And then when Furious guy said, who this?
Who this? Right. Exactly. Now, guys, I had to really dig in the vault for this, because I could not believe what I was hearing. I probably, in preparation for this podcast, I probably watched this movie like 4 or 5 times. But this scene really tripped me out, because she's calling him because she wants Trey to come and live with her, because that was their agreement. But they get into the argument, and I want to know if you guys heard this, because he's like, well, I mean, I just think you're being irrational and whatever. What difference does it make now? He's a grown man. And then he says, well, you know, I'm not getting an attitude. You're getting an attitude. And then he says, and I quote, we'll use the rubbers then. I swear to you, that's what he said.
No, he's using the rubbers. I think he's using the rubbers like she's getting on him about sex, and he's like, I don't know, we got to hear it, because I was wrong about this.
Bro, I think we all got to watch it again. But I swear today, when I watched it, it's like he's saying use the rubbers, like she's mad at him and she's like, well, you know, I got like she says something about the, and he's like, well, use the rubbers then. It was crazy because in the 25 years since I've seen this movie, and I've probably seen it 50 times, I never heard that, right? Because I'm focusing on Trey and how he's uncomfortable because they're arguing. I never heard him say use the rubbers. So now I'm like, what was he talking about? Right?
For some reason, I said time and time again, I tell him to use rubber. I don't know. You gotta hear it. We gotta listen to it again. I wish we could play it.
Right. You gotta listen to it again, guys. But I'm like, okay, I was like, what the heck, man? All right. So now, guys, look, the guys go, they take the SAT. Y'all remember what it was like to take the SAT on that Saturday? Yeah. It was stressful. Yes, you know what I mean? Your parents are all looking at you like, now you be good, Terry. You go and take that test, which no pressure at all. It's just the rest of your life. And you go and sit down and take that test with all your friends, and everybody in there is uncomfortable. And you got like 1 million number 2 pencils. Y'all remember that? And you got to do all that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so they leave and they go see Furious, right? And they go see him at his business. And so Furious is like, hey, you guys want to see something? And they're like, do you have a choice? And he's like, no. And he takes them to Compton. And Trey and Rick are not about that life. They are not happy. And he starts asking them questions. And they're really not into it because they're like, dude, this is Compton. I don't know if you know this. Because the first thing Furious says is, we got to stop being afraid of our own people.
I think that was a message.
It was a message. It was a message.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely was.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But he's looking up at the sign and he says, now, what do you see? And they're like, I don't know, a sign. Because they're in Compton and they're uncomfortable and they're ready to go. And he says, what are you, Amos and Andy? Are you stepping and you fetch it? He's like, this is where they offer money. I'm sorry. He says gentrification, which is basically when the property value goes down and it goes so low that these people will come in and offer you money for your homes and then build the property value back up and then sell it for a profit. He says, and this stuff happens in our neighborhoods all the time, right? And he's talking about gentrification. And then a crowd of folks come around. And it was interesting because we see right here, we see Grady from Sanford and Son.
Grady over there.
Yeah, yep. I forgot he was in this movie, right? And so they start having this conversation, and Grady's like, well, our property value is being driven down by them. These guys, they're killing each other and shooting each other. And Fury says, well, they're not the guys bringing this stuff over here, right? They're not the guys bringing this stuff, these drugs over here to sell in these communities. And honestly, as long as it was in our communities, it was okay. It was when it ventured out to other non-melanated communities that it was a problem. And Furious is beginning to galvanize the crowd because he's getting through to them. But I want to ask you guys, at 16 and however, I know I was 21 when I saw it, but the first time you see Furious's speech, what were your thoughts then as young men, as kids like myself, and what are your thoughts about it now?
I mean, I feel like now, if you look at it, man, like Furious in that movie was right on because that's what's happening in all the urban communities. And then the part when Grady is talking to the kids and he's like, "What am I supposed to do? Fool roll up and smoke me? I'm gonna smoke him back." Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like that's still going on today. That's still the mentality of today. And with the gangs, it's still gangs. I mean, gangs have since migrated to Georgia and other places. The Crips and the Bloods wasn't no Crips and Bloods like that. You know, this movie is actually, did you say 25 years old?
Yes.
It's actually 35 years old. It came out in 91.
Is that 35 years?
Yes, that's 35 years.
I cannot count. Thank you. 35 years. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for reinforcing how old I am, B Rich. Thank you.
Because I thought about it, I subtracted the 25 from. I'm like, well, dang, I had been seeing that movie before I was 20. Yeah, I was in I was like teenager when I saw this movie. So yeah, I was like the fact that he said all of that, man, he broke down some knowledge to us that we really didn't know, and he was breaking down knowledge, and it's like that's what has happened. Go look at West End right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Them houses are
Glenwood.
Yeah.
No, you're 100% correct, man. Trey, your thoughts then and your thoughts now.
I remember at the time I caught some of it, but I didn't catch some of it, right? So I caught what he was saying about the dope. I caught what he was saying about the guns. I caught what he was saying about the things, you know, that have been put on us in our neighborhoods that have led to some of the destructions in our neighborhoods. But I didn't really catch the whole game about the gentrification at that particular time. I didn't catch it then until years later. And now that you mention it, once you're talking about it now, it hit me just now. I'm like, that's exactly what he was talking about.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I didn't catch that part of it. I wish I would have caught it. I don't think I was as in tune or just didn't know. Didn't know enough at 16 to catch that. I caught the stuff about the guns. I caught the stuff about the drugs and about like you got the older person in the neighborhood versus the younger people in the neighborhood and the two different perspectives. And they both having a somewhat fair perspective. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you need to be somebody smoke me, I'm gonna smoke them, but they're just surviving in their heads.
Exactly.
They're just surviving. And the older guy, he's probably was in the neighborhood years before that happened. And so now look what y'all have done to this neighborhood that used to thrive when we used to take care of each other. So I caught all of that, but I totally missed the gentrification part at that time.
Did you catch when he said there's a liquor store in every corner in the
I caught that too. And because I think that's why I didn't catch the gentrification, and I caught that because I could see when he said that, I instantly, because I knew on Gresham Road it was two right across the street from each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And he says it's because they want us to kill each other. He follows that up by saying, because he says you go to Beverly Hills, you don't see that.
You don't see that shit.
Liquor store,
That's what he said.
Gun store. You don't see that. All right. Well, he said it then. I don't know if you see it now, but he said it then. But yeah, man. No. And a definite point. This is one of my favorite parts in the movie because I'm gonna be honest, when I was young, I'm like you, Trey. I caught everything he was saying about the guns, you know, like Bean Rames says, guns and butter. I caught everything he was saying about the guns, everything about the drugs. I totally missed gentrification. But now that I got older, I'm like, that's what he's talking about. Because I've seen that happen, right? I'm not gonna lie, like that's how I learned about gentrification. I didn't even know what that word was until I seen the movie. Yeah. You know, well, and that's how a lot of us learn, be rich. That's y'all catch in the beginning. I think it was the beginning of the movie. They started off with seeing the stop sign. It was just a lot of stuff, man. Subliminal. It really was.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. Rick and Trey leave, and Rick's like, yeah, man, your father's deep, man. My brother should have been there. And Trey says, well, where's your brother? And Rick's like, up on Crenshaw with the rest of them fools. And it's funny, Trey's like, let's go. You know what I mean? Now you just left. That's us. Seminar. Hey, bro. You know what I mean? But here you go. That was me and my friends, man. We would talk some. That was me and my friends. We talked some Malcolm X stuff right about the end, and then go right into the BS, man. Yeah. Let's go. Exactly. Let's go get a point. Right there, we drinking and stuff like that, man. Let's go get some St. Ives, man. Let's do it. And it's funny because they almost laugh because they recognize we just left furious talking about this. No, man, let's go where the mayhem is. Let's go up there. And guys, you know, this is where, hey, man, this is where everything changes. You know.
Yeah.
Ferris can't fight, so he's always looking for a reason to shoot somebody.
Shout out to the great, one of the GOATs of our community, man, in Hollywood, the great Regina King.
Yes.
Shout out to her.
Yes, indeed.
Shout out to her, man. One of my favorite actresses all the way from 227. And I'm gonna tell you, I mean, maybe a lot of people know this. I'm sure they do, but if they don't, you'll learn something today that's not like it's a huge secret. But like one of the great spoken, you know what I'm saying, voiceover voices. Did both of the brothers on Boondocks.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes, she did.
Yep.
Yes, she
Amazing.
did.
Did both of the boys' voices on Boondocks. For anybody who didn't know that.
Yes.
You know, when I first discovered her, I didn't really watch 227, but I remember her face from there. But when I first discovered her, like, I'm just so proud how the evolution of her has come. Like, she went from hood rat to like playing lead wives. I remember the Will Smith movie when she was the wife with him, Enemy of the State, and just all kind of other, man. Like, she just really became a great actress, man. So you're right, Trey. Shout out to her, man.
Yeah, she did. And you think about it, like I say, 227. Then we saw her in Boys in the Hood. If there's anything that I missed, correct me. Then years later, we saw on Friday, she was Craig's sister.
She was
in
Craig's
Friday.
sister.
Yeah, she was Ice Cube's sister. And like you said, later on, Will Smith's wife. Later on, she was Ray's mistress. You know, so
she played really good in there. Bro.
Yeah, man.
She really got down on that part.
Really amazing actress, man. Shout out to Regina King,
baby. I'm gonna make it do it.
Shout out to Regina King, man.
But no more hit road. She was singing that one. She was mad. She played good.
I got a woman way over town that digs on me.
Hey, but what's funny though? He's like, you better take your ass to the stove. She had drunk up the 40.
Oh yeah, well yes.
Yep.
You better take your ass to the stove.
Yeah. And then it's like he still ain't after yet. But anyway. But guys,
man, those were the parts, man.
Yeah, man. This is the turning point in the movie.
Yes, it was.
It's unfortunate, but Ferris bumps into him and
on purpose. Now it wasn't an accidental bump.
He wanted to start.
It was a bam. Yeah,
he wanted to start something. He did, and Ricky turns around. It's like, hey, man, you know what I mean? And Ferris is blah 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 blah. And
I'm trying to see, nigga.
And guys, let me tell you something. This has got to be one of the most famous scenes in any movie I've ever seen, and that is, we got a problem here. We got a problem here. We got a problem here. We got a problem here, right? And Ferris leaves, and Ferris, being the punk that he is, pulls out the AK-47.
Hold on, before you say that, he's like, why we can't just not have no violence? He's like,
the girl, yeah.
And look, before you bring up the AK-47, one fun note about this, and I saw it like in the making of the Boys in the Hood, like they didn't know when the gun was gonna go off. They just said when you hear something, everybody just leave. So they really got a real natural reaction on what you about to say. Yeah,
they did. No, let me tell you something. You are 100% correct, because that is exactly what would happen. Guys, when the Braves went to the World Series the first time in '91, they had a parade, right? And me and my little brother went to it, and we were underground. And anybody who goes to these events after they're over, go home, okay? Because the knuckleheads come out after. After it's over, go home. But my brother and I are just walking around, and he's young. I'm like 21. He's got to be like 13, right? So he's young. So we're in underground or whatever, and all of a sudden you hear, let me tell you something. Everybody got down, bro. Started scurrying, running like roaches. And that is a 100% natural reaction. Because that's whatever conversation you having, when you hear that, hey man, I gotta go.
You know what?
Hey, Trey, was that your partner that did that?
You know what's crazy, T. Will? That was a childhood friend of mine who did that. Unfortunately, who did that. Who was the culprit of that unfortunate incident.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
Did anybody get killed or shot?
Yeah, two people got shot. Nobody died, but yeah, 2 people got shot.
And he got locked up for that, right?
Yeah, he got sent to prison for a long time. He got sent to prison about 13
crazy,
years,
bro.
About 12, 13 years, something like that. Darn, but you brought the Braves. I had to look at the score. Boy, we can first inning, boy, we losing 5-0. That's crazy.
Oh, who's pitching?
Greg Holmes.
Oh, Grant. Okay, yeah. Well, Colorado, the air is denser. Yeah, that makes.
They
sense.
was worried about that.
Yeah, Grant. Holmes. Yeah, Grant Holmes.
Because he's a curveball pitcher, and you're not gonna get the break on a curveball in Colorado that you would anywhere else. So that makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah, guys, they start scurrying, right? And they're on their way home, and all of a sudden, the cops pull them over. Okay. And before we get into the seriousness of it, because this is a very serious part, I'm going to share a story with you guys. So remember when we were talking before the show, we were talking about Greenbrier and South DeKalb, and I told you guys I got locked up at the Burger King right across from South DeKalb. So here's the story, right? Me and my cousin, my best friend, one of my best friends in the world ever, still my best friend to this day. I got two best friends from high school. We're still tight. But we went to somebody's graduation. Now, mind you, this is Burger King on Candler Road in 1987. We are the only two dudes in slacks. Everybody else got on starter jackets, earrings, hats. You know what I mean? We are the only two in slacks. So, and I'm the idiot because I wanted a Whopper. I don't know why. Just I wanted a Whopper. So we pull over. We get the Burger King.
Trying to have it your way.
I had to, exactly. And I got it my way, believe it. So he leaves, he and the two girls, and man, anyway, I messed up that night. But he and the two girls leave. I'm walking out, and this cop says to me, and I quote, "Hey boy, hey boy, hey boy, hey boy." He said boy like 38 times. Finally, I turned around. I said, "Are you talking to me?" Now, mind you, this is 17-year-old Terry, okay? I grew up in the suburbs. I'm not used to cops and how they deal with us. Bear that in mind. So he says, "Hey, boy, somebody mentioned something about a fight. Do you know anything?" And I'm like, I look at him and I say, there are literally 50 people in this parking lot. I'm the only one in slacks. Why would you ask me? And he says, "Oh, hey, boy, you got a smart mouth, don't you, boy? Oh, you got a smart mouth on you." Again, I'm 17. I don't know any better. So I turn around and I say, "Yes, master, we's free now. I know you don't know this, but the Emancipation Proclamation was many years ago. I know your folks, in the trailer park, y'all probably don't get TV out there, but we's free now, master. So please get the F out of my face."
Why? He locked you up.
Why? Oh, not only did they lock me up, bro, I turned around. Two of those cops, Billy Club, bam, 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 throw me in the back seat. Now, I would say we living in Hidden Hills at the time. Hidden Hills was a nice neighborhood.
That's where I live. I lived in Hidden Hills.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm Carlton or anything, but I'm a little entitled. So I'm in the back seat like, my parents are gonna sue your ass. They're gonna sue you back to Mayberry. Oh my God. You gonna work in the trailer park with your family. When we get through, you're gonna buy our new house. And as I'm talking trash, I have a thought. What if he doesn't take me to the jail? Right as I'm talking trash, right? I have a thought. What if he does not take me to the jail? And then I just shut up the entire time there. And it's like he knew it because he kept driving or whatever, took me to the jail. Anyway, it got thrown out of court because he was a racist, and everybody that he locked up just happened to be black and just happened to be not doing anything. And that's a whole nother story. But anyway, that's my young teenage trouble with the law story. Now this is a little different because this is LA. And look, I don't have to get into it. We all know the reputation of LAPD back in the 80s and 90s. Okay. And so they pull him over. And again, remember that there's that thing that's foreshadowing. It's the same cop that came to his house when his house was robbed, 7 years prior. Right?
Yes, sir. Same one.
He asked him a question and he says no. And what agitates the cop is that he didn't say no, sir. He doesn't say this, but that's what it is because he says no. And so he turns Trey around and he says, "Oh, you think you tough? Oh, okay. I took this job to kill little N-words like you." And he's emasculating Trey because Trey is just basically being a man, but this cop is filled with such self-hatred because clearly he's been doing this job too long, right? That he takes it out on Trey. Now, I know what I was feeling because this was 4 years after the incident for me. So I know exactly what I'm feeling in this moment, but I'm talking to 16-year-old Trey, 16-year-old B Rich. Give me your thoughts on what's going through your mind back then as you see it and what goes through your mind now as you see it.
Well, like for me, you know, when I worked at the movie theater, you know, it was cops always around, so they was cool to me. And I was thinking like, damn, boy, in Los Angeles, man, they tripping. I'm glad I don't live out there. That's how I was thinking. I was thinking it didn't happen here in Atlanta, you know, with black cops. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, black cops, they like us. So I never experienced that in Atlanta until I got older. But right around that time, like I didn't think that. I was just like, dang, they tripping in LA. I kind of thought that was like an LA thing.
Yeah.
I had by that time I had a couple run-ins with some police officers who weren't going by the friendliest. Book. They weren't the friendliest. Yeah, they were not the friendliest, and it just felt like like typical. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like this is to be expected. You know what I mean? But the crazy thing about it is we talk about, you know, as I got older, started having those conversations. I think by the time I was in my 30s, you start hearing people talk about the conversations that you need to have with young black men about how to handle yourself when you're with the police. And I think about things that my mother told me when I was younger, and just how listening to those things could save your life, and how we in our community have always known, or at least felt like we really needed to have those type of conversations to try to save our kids' lives. You know what I'm saying? Yes. My mother having that conversation with me, feeling like she needed to put her son in the best position, and me knowing now, like, man, my kids are what I guess normal people, not normal, but what people in the neighborhood would call green. You know what I'm saying? My kids, they don't know nothing about no hood stuff. You know what I'm saying? They don't know about, but I still, even with all that, I still have to have those conversations with my kids.
Yes, you do.
And tell them how they need to act when you're in a situation with a police officer, how you need to approach the situation. I still have to have those conversations with them now. And my oldest is 14, youngest is 11, and I'm already having those conversations. I'm trying not to make them afraid of every police officer, but I'm just trying to make them aware of where it can go and teach them, listen, the goal is to make it home. Yes. That's the only goal you got. When they stop you, your goal is to make it home. It's easy to feel upset when you know you haven't done anything. Why are you stopping me? Why are you bothering me? But the goal is to just make it home. End the story.
Yep. I couldn't have said it better myself, bro. So Trey's upset. Obviously Ricky is like, what the hell, man? He's looking at him, and we see a tear coming out of Trey's eye here. And
I would have had one too.
I would have had one. Dude, that gun is so big that he's got up against his throat. Like, and there's
like Dirty Harry.
Right. Go ahead, punk, make my day. But there's no buffer. There's nothing you can do. So look at anybody, most people in his situation, because Trey's not a thug. You get what I'm saying?
Hey, Terry, Trey. What was that? What was that with Trey? Why everybody pulling guns out of Trey, man?
I don't know, man. You're right. That's the second time in a movie that happened. I don't know, man. I don't know. You're right. But you know, this is what I will say about that. Trey gets home and he's like, hey, man, I'm okay and nothing's going to happen to me. And he has his breakdown, okay? And the reason I kind of highlighted this is because this happens to all African Americans at some time. Now, hopefully the police or other people are not around, but Trey had just had enough. You know what I mean? He had just had enough and he had to let it out. And he says,
there go the part, be rich. Look.
I never thought. There it is. I told you I'd come back to it, right? I never thought.
Everybody was laughing so hard. I mean, I promise you, bro. That was the funniest part. Oh, Nia Long. You know Nia Long? Have y'all got a chance to see Michael?
Yes.
She played Katherine Jackson, man. She did a great job.
She did. And that is a great movie. As a matter of fact, I'll be doing a podcast on that one tomorrow, me and Jordan. But anyway, and you're right, B. Rich. She did a great job. Jermaine Jackson's kid, Jafar Jackson, did a great job. The guy who played Joseph Jackson did a great job. It was well done.
I like him as an actor. He played in Running Man and some other movies that I like.
Yeah. Very good performance. But Trey says, never thought I'd cry in front of a female. And guys, we missed it when we were young. We missed it, guys. Be Rich, Trey, we missed it. If we'd have cried in front of somebody, you get where I'm going. Right? If we'd have cried in front of these girls, some of these girls, if we were trying to, you know what I mean? Guys, we could have turned lemons into lemonade. Because what happens? You know what I mean? She saw the vulnerable side, and they end up doing the grown folk, which was his mission. So he turned lemons into lemonade.
Hey, look, Terry, I mean, JT from the Five Heartbeats gave us the game a whole year earlier. You know what I'm saying? JT said, hey, man, I cry. I do whatever I have to.
Every night I got to prove my love.
Every night I got to prove my love.
Hey, Terry, do one quick favor, man. Put up the last comment from Atlanta Falcons Fandemic.
This one?
I love that. He said, all three of my sons are good and grown, but they must call me when they are pulled over.
Amen. Amen to that, brother.
I love that. I love
it, cowboy. I love it. But yeah, man, he turns lemons into lemonade. So everything that he was trying to do, he just showed her the vulnerable side. And you know what? It was like, there you go. And they're having the conversation and talking about getting married and going to Morehouse and Spelman. And hey, man, it's a good night for Trey. Okay, it's a good night for Trey. And I was happy for him. Okay, because to your point, B. Rich, he had guns pulled on him twice. Okay, he lied to his dad. It had been a rough time thus far. Trey needed a win. That's all I'm saying. He needed a win.
He got one.
Yeah, he did. So now we got to get serious. We got the calm before the storm. Ricky's sitting down. He's contemplating his life. He's looking at a football game and he sees a commercial about the Army and he thinks maybe I should go to the Army. And his lady friend comes in, baby mama, future wife, whatever you want to call it, comes in and says, hey, I need some, I think cornmeal or something, either cornmeal or
some fish.
For some fish or something like that.
Yeah.
And so this was the only part about this movie that I kind of didn't like after I looked at it. When I got older, because it felt like in this scene, it felt like Singleton is this fight felt forced. Now I get what's going on. Doughboy is jealous, right? And why wouldn't he be jealous? Ricky can do whatever he wants to do. He's got a girlfriend staying with him. He's got his child. The mother keeps his child. Rick Doughboy can't have his friends over a certain time because she goes off on him. So I get the jealousy, but it just felt inorganic. It felt like you're trying to force a conflict so that Doughboy is going to feel guilty when Ricky dies. And that may not be the case, but as I got older, that's how it felt. And I'm not saying it took away from the movie. Look, if this movie's a 10 out of 10 for me, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that now. But after looking back at this, I didn't like it. But anyway, they get into it. Trey tries to step in between them. Doughboy shoves poor Trey like he's a 3-year-old. Like, this ain't what you want, buddy. Shoves him out of the way. And he and Ricky go at it. And their mom comes to break it up. And she slaps the you-know-what out of Doughboy, which is kind of foreshadowing, Trey and B. Rich, for what you said for what's going to happen in the next scene and how she really treats him. but she blames Darius or Doughboy for everything. Now, look, in this case, he did start the conflict, but she didn't have to slap him, guys. Give me your thoughts on this scene, and yeah, just give me your thoughts on this scene.
Crazy thing is, man, I ain't even gonna lie. I don't know why. I remember it now. I don't know why. I kind of forgot this part happened because he asked Doughboy would he either take him to the store or go to the store for him.
No, he asked him to go get. He asked him to go to it.
Yeah, and man, that's your girl. You know, blah blah blah. But now that I think about them just getting into the fight and then him coming in maybe less than an hour later with Ricky all bloody. Now I see why she's like, "What did you do?" You know, because those were her words. What did you do?
Right.
You know, like she not even me now. I can look back and say maybe she overreacted. Like in her mind, the last thing she remembers between the two of them was they got into a fight, and now he comes in with him bloody, and she's just like, "What did you do?" You know what I mean? And so, but it still was heartbreaking that the way she acted towards Doughboy. Yeah. But I forgot this part. I have a little bit more reference of why that may have happened the way it did.
A greater perspective. Rick, thoughts?
I think I didn't look at it how you looked at it. I looked at it like she just didn't like Doe. I think she it was her son, but she just was mad at what he was becoming. And Ricky couldn't do no wrong in her eyes, so I felt like it was the same thing. And when she slapped him, it was like, dang. But like. When you the ugly duckling, man, like you know stuff like that happens in real life. So I kind of it was kind of believable to me.
Yeah.
It's messed up, but I mean we've all had conflicts with somebody. You know what I'm saying? In a family member or something. Where you feel like you've been outed or whatever. So it was kind of normal to me. I thought it was kind of good because it like made for the drama and the suspense even more. So I liked it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the fact that they died, but it made the movie good.
Yeah, it did make the movie good. It really did, and it did build the drama. But it is heartbreaking because this had nothing to do with Doughboy.
But you know what though, Terry? Yeah. I think like I can't say this because I don't know, and maybe I don't know Trey, but it's actually stuff that happens like this out there.
Absolutely.
It happens like that, man.
Absolutely.
So I think that just showed a side of a family, where you see favoritism, man.
Absolutely.
I definitely know that some mothers with different baby fathers treat kids differently because of how the baby father treated them. I know that for a fact.
That's true. That is true. That is 100. That is gospel. Hey, somebody pass out the collection plate because you are preaching right now. That is what you are 100% correct, bro. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better, so I'm not even going to try. Let's get to so they break up the fight, and Rick's like, I'm fine, and he and Trey leave, and obviously this is the last time they're going to see Rick alive. This is the moment that changes everything. So Ricky has the milk, and Ricky was always drinking milk, and he's scratching off the scratch offs. And I'm not going to say what he said because it could be considered racially insensitive at this point. But you know what he said. And
only certain people win.
Right. You got
Trey said it.
Trey did say it. Trey said it. You got only certain people win, exactly. But Trey is talking to me. He's like, "Look, man, that's whatever." And Trey, this is when they're like, "Oh, there's those guys that was talking trash the other day." And he says to him, "Hey, man, on my signal, we cut through the backyard." And they run. And guys, looking back on this, if they just jump over to the right there and sit tight and don't run, they probably get away with it. They probably get away unscathed. If they, sometimes if you just think about it, okay, we're running. These guys took off. They're going to be looking for us. Let's just wait right here, right? And that's hindsight, because I'm going to tell you something. That scene when Ricky gets killed, it bothers me to this day. It but it's so well done. It bothers me to this day. So as I'm watching it for like the 5th time this week, I'm like, if you just would have hopped over to the right, Ricky probably lives, but that's not what happens. Okay.
And you know, when I was watching it, you know, they said split up. I don't know why they split up, but when the first shot happened, I was like, damn, his football career over. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I thought that's what was gonna happen. I was like, okay, his football career over. It's dramatic like that. Then when the second shot hit and it hit him in the back and you see the front of the chest just bloodied up, I'm like, oh,
it's over, bro.
It's over for real. Forget football. It's over.
It's over, bro. Let's get into it, right? Let me read some stuff first. So Antonio says Doughboy was her scapegoat for being a bad mama. I hear that. Ricky was mommy's favorite. Cowboy says Ricky was mom's favorite. Just wanted Doughboy to be more like Ricky. Ricky was the standard for the good son. Antonio says somebody should have told Ricky to zigzag.
Never run in straight lines.
Never run in a straight line. Bro, he got a 12 gauge. I don't know what you're going to do with that, but I hear you, Antonio.
Man, you know what? When I think about this whole scene, this whole sequence of events, Eric Parker put a Ricky.
My little big brother, hey. Ricky. What up, LBB?
Man, when I think about this whole, I think about it was so many things wrong with the way Ricky handled this situation.
Yes.
You know, and Ricky, he did though, bro. Like he was not.
Why is he scratching off a ticket in the middle of a?
Because he didn't take it seriously.
Thank you. He didn't take it serious. And Trey should have said, dude, those the dudes I told you just pulled a shotgun on me in the street not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, them fools don't want to do that. Number one, Ricky, you know where you live. Yeah, you've heard stories, man. Why did they have his character not taking it serious, thinking it's just Tweedledee, Tweedledum, hum ho, just walking through the neighborhood like B-Rich said, doing a scratch off. Like what? And then the splitting up. No, man, stay together. Like what are you doing splitting up? Stay together.
Yeah.
Like why are you splitting up? Because we need 4 eyes in this situation.
Yes.
We need 4 eyes in this situation.
Yes.
You may see something I don't. We need 4 eyes, and they ended up in the same place enough to where Trey saw him. It just Ricky was walking around with his head down, and you know, dudes who just shot up are looking for you.
Right.
Now that's the only part of the movie, Trey, that's unbelievable.
Oh, I like what Antonio Henderson just said. Hey, that's deep right there. I like that.
He did, but you know what, Antonio? Thank you for that. His mind, so he's thinking about his baby, right? He just got through having a conversation with Trey about going to the military because he hadn't gotten his SAT test back. He doesn't know that he passed.
You know, interesting point. Before he went to the store, his mom saw the mail. And it's like your score came back, Ricky.
Exactly.
And he was like,
exactly.
I don't want to see this. I'm gone.
Yeah.
So he didn't even know what he made.
But you know what? He's probably got the fight on his mind. I'm going to the military. He's having a conversation with Trey. We know how Trey feels about it. But I think Antonio has a point. He is already thinking, guys, I'm going to the military. I'm not thinking about this. And the other part of it is maybe he's desensitized because they hear gunshots every day. It's just a part of life to them. And maybe he's just not taking it seriously in this moment. I don't know. LBB says that's why he didn't take it seriously, though. He sees that all the time and nothing ever happened to him. And that's a good point. Cowboy says, I never took for granted any level of threat when I was growing up. At some point, it was going to come. LBB says exactly. But guys, to your point, and B Rich, let me ask you, what do you think he's thinking here? Like, what do you think is going through his mind here?
I think it's bad on John Singleton's part to even put that in there because that's not realistic, man. I don't care what part of the hood you from. If some guys are trying to get me, I'm not splitting up with my friend. I'm definitely not finna go down a path where they can drive and get me. I would rather get bitten by the dog. I don't know, bro. Like that wasn't believable to me.
Yeah, because I'm with you because number one, why would you split up if you're not taking it seriously?
Exactly.
Like you splitting up to make it easier to make sure we get away. Well, if you don't take it serious, you're not going through all these procedures or thought process to how you can make it easier to get away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He just like it just was the way they portrayed his character, like to be having a scratch off. You walking down the street doing a scratch off, and guess what? And I get what Eric Parker said earlier. Said nothing ever happened to him. I just have never met a person. I just in my 51 years, I've never met a person if something happened to them or not, especially when it comes to gun violence, that they've seen it and heard about it happen to people around, especially around them.
Yes.
And not take it serious. You got your brother's friend who's your friend as well, right there in a wheelchair up on the court.
Yes.
Who used to walk around with you, who you saw gun violence do that
Chris.
to him. It's no way somebody realistically would not have taken that seriously. No way.
I agree. I think, and again, guys, this is just my thoughts. Doesn't mean anything. But I think Singleton is saying because everything has been given to Ricky, because Ricky was never really held accountable for having a child and having it in the house, and his mom always accepted everything, that he didn't really look for consequences. He didn't look at stuff like that. I think that's what he's saying. Now I could be wrong, but either way, this is the wrong decision, and this is the one that cost him his life. And he says, hey man, let's split up. And Trey says, I think if we got to throw some hands, we need to be together. And he's like, no, man. And they look at each other, and we've all been in this situation where, all right, dog, you know what I mean? I see you when I see you. And they run. And guys, every time I watch this breaks my heart. I remember in the theater watching this, my heart almost coming out of my mouth. My chest was beating so loud because you turn around and you see him say, Ricky! And Rick, and he knows it's too late. And we see Ricky turn around. And Ricky's trying to book it and run, and everything goes silent. And we
slow motion.
Dude fire off the one shot. Yeah, in slow motion. And we hear dude fire off the one shot, and he hits him in the leg. And B. Rich, I'm like you thinking, oh, he's never going to play football again. That's how it's going to end. No, sir. No, he loads that thing again, and bam, shoots it through his chest. And we see Ricky go down, and we see Trey run to him, and we see Doughboy and his compadres pull up, and everything is inaudible because at this point in the theater, everybody is in shock. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a good moment, man. Good moment for the movie.
Hey man, we've had some funny comments since then, man. Good Lord, boy.
Well, let's get back to it. What comments are you talking about, Trey?
Where I was talking about how he that people in real life would take it serious. No one would act like that. Eric Parker said, I got some homeboys like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Antonio Henderson said, they took the split up route. Like if we split up, only one of us would get shot, like white folks do when Jason Voorhees and Michael
Myers.
Yeah, that was one of them movies right there. Hey, man. Hey, Trey. I don't understand why they just didn't go back in the store.
Yeah, right. Well, but
let's not break out. Let's go back in the store and call the police or something, man.
But they probably would have shut up the store, man, if they saw him. I mean, I don't know. This was 91, but they probably would have shot up the store. I don't know, but dude, what a scene. So let's get to these comments. Antonio says Singleton said you can make it out of the
one way or the other. That is funny, man.
Yeah, man. But so they pull up. Obviously, Trey's down. I'm in shock at this point. You know, my girlfriend at the time is crying. She's got her head on my shoulder. I'm in shock. I'm in front of her, so I'm trying not to cry but the tears are literally right there. Like, just if you push me, it's gonna be a river. But I'm in front of my girl, so I can't do it. Right. And
now you've learned that you should have.
I should have. You're right. I should have. I should have just let it go right then and there. You're right. You're right. Absolutely. But they take him back. They realize he's gone. They take him back to the house. And then the mom comes in, and the first thing she says is, "You did this." And she starts to go off on Doughboy.
No. First she hugs him. She's crying, and he's consoling her. And so I'm like, okay, this a moment. Then she goes back to being the witch that she is towards him.
Yeah. And she blames him. And Trey has to pull her back. And Doughboy is saying he doesn't need to be seeing this. And Doughboy's right. He's right in this instance. This kid's no more than a year.
Don't you ever touch him.
Right. And she says, don't you ever touch him, which lets you know that she views Doughboy the way the mom views Doughboy. But in this case, they're both wrong because this little 2-year-old kid doesn't need to see this. We don't know what kind of PTSD or Dexter X, impact it's going to have on him. Right.
Yeah.
Dexter, if you guys follow the show, Dexter was left in this trailer, he and his brother, of blood for like 5 days, and they both turned out to be serial killers. No, I'm not saying that's the case with this kid, but the bottom line is he doesn't need to be seeing it, right? He doesn't. And she goes off. And this is when Trey has got to make a choice, and this is Trey's path to manhood, right here and right now, because Trey says to Doughboy, "Meet me at my house in 5 minutes," because he's mad, right? Because think about it. He and Rick have grown up together. He and Doughboy have grown up together. You probably spent every day of your life with this kid. And I got to be honest with you. And I'm going to ask you guys this. I want to ask you what you thought when you were kids when you saw this versus what you thought right now. 21-year-old T. Will watching this, I was 100% with Trey. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Somebody's got to die tonight. Let's go. I don't give a damn what Dad says. Somebody got to die. You just killed my main man, my guy, my dude, 100,000. Somebody got to die. I don't care if it's your dog, your cat, your mama. Somebody's got to go. And we going together, right? And he walks off.
I think if they would have saw him, the guys immediately, I think Trey would have been with the ish. I think the fact that it took a long time, he had time to think, he came to his senses, and he's like, "Yeah, let me out." And I'm gonna say this, like I would feel the same way as I did back then. Like I would be right on with Trey. I'd be wanting to ride for my friend. But like if it took a long time and I came to my senses and the anger was there, I think the same thing would happen.
I'm glad he got out.
Yeah.
I'm glad he got out, man. We talked about this. T. Will, I was telling you, like when B Rich, you remember we actually talked about this on the podcast one day. We talked about how I said how because I always make this joke, right? T. Will, I always say, as harsh as I have been on Trey Young, I wanted Trey Young to succeed, man. We don't have any Treys who popped off. Like there's a whole bunch of Michaels who just like these superstars. We don't have a bunch of Treys. I said the only Trey.
That was
I said the only Trey we had was Trey from Boyz n the Hood, and he got out the car, and that's how we started talking about it. And that's how we started talking about it. And I said the funny thing is now that I'm grown, I said I understand it, and I'm glad he got out the car. I said, but when I was young, you wanted him to go, like a foolish thinking as a teenager. You wanted him to go and stand up for his friend that just got killed. But being an adult now, he made the smart decision, and it was all that good sense that his father had helped speaking to him, and the person that he was as well. But all the stuff that his father instilled in him and poured into him, it paid off at the right time.
Yeah. Hey, Atlanta Falcon, how did he turn out? He says what's really sad is the guy who did the shooting. Did y'all see how his real life ironically turned out? Please Please share that because I don't know how it turned out.
Yeah, drop it in the chat. Let us know. But no, Trey, you're right. 21-year-old Terry was like, man, go get him. But now I'm like you. I'm glad he got out of the car. You know what I mean? But guys, here's what's interesting to me, right? And this is why I literally have right here. Now, Furious has known Ricky and Doughboy since Trey was knee-high to a gnat, right? So he's got to, on some level, look at them like sons. But when he comes in here, there's no emotional reaction. As a matter of fact, he says to Trey, look, I'm sorry what happened to your friend. Your friend, not Ricky, right? Not your boy, your friend. He's distancing himself from it as if he doesn't even know him, as if he didn't see this kid grow up for 15, 16, however many years. Looking back at that now, this doesn't make sense to me. Now, I understand he's in the moment. I understand he's in the moment. And I understand he's trying to keep Trey from doing something stupid. And Trey,
I was going to say that. Yeah.
But by the same token, guys, we got kids.
Yeah.
If this happened to one of your kids' friends.
Oh, yeah, I'm torn up.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would be sad about my friend, but I'm a definitely, you know, like, hey, Trey, you're my responsibility. That's what he said.
Exactly.
And so I see where they were going with it. But I know, you know, the character. He was sad about Ricky because he liked Ricky and he liked Doe. But right now he's trying to get his kid to not go out there with the gun. He said, give me the gun, this, that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't want that to happen to his son. So I kind of.
Nah, Beard's right. To add on to B Rich's point, I think I do see what you're saying. In a realistic standpoint, you gonna have some emotions, but let's just look at it. Let's just look at it from the perspective of, okay, these moments that I know could possibly come one day. This one of these moments that I've been hoping wouldn't come to this household one day, that I would have to stop my son from going out and doing something crazy. And it seemed like he just had to lock all the way in.
He was
be as serious as he could be.
Yes.
Yeah, compartmentalizing. Right now, my goal, like B Rich said, is to stop my son. My goal right now is to lead my son on the right path and keep him from doing something crazy. That's the whole way he entered the house was in a real cautious way. He's looking serious, but when he's taking off the tie, it was really a cautious way, like, okay, what is Trey doing? Let me see how I'm going to approach this. Let me see what's going on. Then rush in with too emotion. Then want to make the situation even more hyper, take the energy up or the emotions up even higher. It was almost like he was like, let me come in, assess. Let me try to calm this down because I really, really need to protect my son.
Right. And he says to him, son, he says, I'm sorry about your friend, and I know his parents are hurt, but that's their problem. You're my son, Trey. You're my problem. Give me the MFing gun, Trey. And they have a moment, okay? But, you know, when Trey gets to himself, you know, they have a moment. They hug it out, gives him the gun. But Trey leaves because Trey's like, hell no, man, that's Ricky. I got to go. And
hey,
go ahead.
He said he became a real-life murderer, ended up in prison, and eventually getting killed himself. His real name was Lloyd Avery II. I'm gonna look that up. Thank you
for that. And I wonder if that was life imitating art or art imitating life, right? Like, I don't know what he did before this. He could have been in the life, but what if he wasn't, right? What if he took this persona too much? And I don't know. I'm tripping. But anyway, hey, Cowboy, thank you for that, brother. I did not know that. Thank you for educating us, man. We appreciate that. So yeah, Trey's in the car with them. They're on the Who ride. They've been looking for these guys a while, and he says to Doe, hey man, let me out. And Doe doesn't say anything. He just stops and lets him out. Trey walks back, and Furious is sitting at home with his metallic balls, twirl them in his hand, and you know, he walks in, and Furious is so upset he doesn't say anything. He just goes to his room, closes the door, and we flash back to what I like to call the moment of revenge. They roll up on this burger joint or whatever it is. And it's interesting because there is a scene just like this in Menace to Society.
Yep. Getting something to eat. They caught him slipping.
Yeah. So, you know, he's up there eating. I believe Ferris, the guy that I hated, is talking about his hair and how his strength is in his hair and how he's about to go and see his girlfriend that night and he's going to drop them off. And he looks over in the cut and he sees that 6'4" Impala.
Hey, I still remember the conversation. These my fries. You can't have my fries. He said, go back home. And the girl said, go back home, tell your mammy.
Right.
But go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I had to just
it's all good. You talk about Menace to Society. Yeah. And guys, hey, we could do Menace to Society as well. I mean, you know, it's all good, but
yeah,
they run up on him, and Ferris is saying, "Y'all don't chase me," and then they get mowed down. All right, now this is the part that was a little unrealistic because with the alarms going off and the fact that you just got let out an AK-47, I don't know anybody that's gonna get out the car and roll up on something. I don't know anybody's gonna do that, but that's just me. You know what I mean? Most folks would have taken off, but he does.
Turn your punk A over. Turn your punk A over.
Right. Turn over.
And he's like, come on, though. I just got out of prison. Come on, man. Let's go.
Yeah, and they're saying names.
Oh, monster.
And they're saying names. That's the thing about it. That's probably why Doughboy ends up getting killed 2 weeks later because they're saying names as they're committing these crimes. So I don't know, but whatever. They go down, they get their revenge. And guys, we have in this next scene what I would think is something that has stuck with me since the first time I saw this. And that's Doughboy's monologue when he says, either they don't know, don't show, or don't care about what's going on in the hood. Yep. And even 35 years later, that is gospel. It's a phenomenal dynamic about what goes on inside the hood and how the hood is its own ecosystem and nobody cares about it. They don't care about the real stuff. And it's an interesting take. And Trey asks him, did you get him? And this is the moment right now where Doughboy looks at him like, you already know. And he says, yeah, you got him. And Doughboy says, yeah, man, it just feels like they punched the clock out. They punched the wrong clock on Rick, though, man. He's like, I don't have a brother no more. I don't even have a mother. She loved that fool more than she loves me. And he gets ready to walk off, and Trey says to him, hey, man, you still got one brother left. And they embrace, and we see Doughboy walk off, pours out the St. Ides, I think. I don't know. Pours out the malt liquor, and it says Doughboy buried his brother the next day. And 2 weeks later, he was
murdered.
And it's like an endless cycle.
They have him disappear.
Yeah, for effect, like Thanos, right? But it was sobering. And then Trey stands up. He's got on a Crenshaw t-shirt, goes in the house, and it says Trey went off to Morehouse, and Brandy followed him right across the street at Spelman, and then it ends with increase the priest. When
that part and it said and Brandy was right next door at Spelman, the whole theater just erupted and clapped, man. Everybody was happy, man.
Yeah,
so I just said those were times where I can remember, man. Those were some fun times, and I was glad that I got a chance to work at the movie theater when those movies came out. I was there when Boyz in the Hood came out, when Juice came out, when
Menace to Society. Were you there when Menace to Society came out?
Nah, I wasn't there when Menace. Jungle Fever, Silence of the Lambs. I was there doing those movies. I just remembered the Fire Heartbeats. I was there, man. I used to always watch the Fire Heartbeats, man. That was like some good memories working at the movie theater, man, being an usher.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. Now that I think about Trey and Brandy coming to Atlanta, think about Menace to Society. That's where Kane and Jada Pinkett's character were coming to Atlanta. That's why Atlanta traffic is so bad. Shout out to y'all for putting that in the movie. and making all these
You know, a lot of
folks
people
move
from
to Atlanta.
California did go to Morehouse and Spelman. They did do that.
That is a great point, Trey. That is a great point.
Shout
That's a
out to you
great
for having
point.
all these people want to move to Georgia and move to Atlanta, and now y'all done messed up the traffic. Hey, Atlanta Falcons fan Demi said, I remember when Rich worked at the movie theater.
Are you serious? Who is this? That's crazy. I really did.
That's crazy.
Who is
man.
that talking, Atlanta Pandemic? Send me your Instagram. I'm gonna follow you and I'll see if I remember you. That's crazy. I really did.
Let's talk about where they are now. So obviously, rest in peace to Eazy-E and John Singleton. Both gone too soon. We all know what happened with Eazy. We all know what happened with John Singleton. But what an amazing career that he did have. Singleton went on to do Poetic Justice, Baby Boy. I think he had a series on FX called, what's that, with Desmond?
Snowfall.
Snowfall, yes. Excellent series. And
one of the great series to ever be created. Amazing show.
Yes. And, you know, of course, you know, Trey, Cuba Gooding Jr. had his rise and fall. I mean, he won an Oscar. Show me the money, right? Won an Oscar. And,
you know,
and later
you
on
know,
in life,
y'all tell me, I heard, I remember this movie. I never watched it, but I was hearing about it, and they said he played such a good role that you forgot he was Cuba Gooding Jr., that he was Radio. He played Radio, and everybody forgot.
Not
Radio Raheem, but
no, not Radio Raheem. Radio.
The guy that was on the Spectrum
with Ed Harris.
Yeah, the guy who's on the Spectrum.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Manuel? I went to high school with Manuel. That's right, Manuel.
Yeah.
Manuel Metro, he definitely knows who I am.
That's what's up. What's up. But yeah, man. Yeah, Cuba Gooding Jr. went on to have a great career. Of course, later on in his career, he did have some troubles with the law. We won't get into that. But again, he did win an Oscar, and he got his start there, and great. Of course, there's Ice Cube turned Doughboy into one of the most iconic characters in film history. He went on to do movies such as Friday and Barbershop. He's got the big three. He's done a litany of movies, and really has, I think, created a lot of movies for the African-American community. So shout out to Ice Cube. Of course.
Ice Cube has turned a lot of people into stars. He gave a lot of people their first shot.
Yes.
Hey, go ahead,
be
Trey,
on
I'm
the
sorry.
screen. Yeah, gave a lot of people their first chance to be on the big screen.
I got a trivia question, right?
What you got?
Cuba Gooding Jr. Do y'all remember him playing in Coming to America?
Nope.
No.
Great.
No.
I want y'all to go back and watch Coming to America whenever you get the chance to. And in the barbershop, Cuba Gooding Jr. is getting his haircut by one of the I forgot if it was one of the guys. It was Eddie or somebody that was playing.
Or
I think it was Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy, the barber. He's cutting Cuba Gooding Jr.'s hair. I swear before God, y'all got to see that part. Pull it up.
I gotta go back and watch that, man.
Yeah, pull it up.
That's a good one. Yeah. I definitely got to go back and watch that. So yeah, Lawrence Fishburne, one of the greatest actors ever. I mean, he's Morpheus. He went on to become Morpheus. He was in Deep Cover. You know what I mean? All this time,
great movie.
Playing a drug dealer. I ain't nothing but a drug dealer playing a cop. Well, I ain't gonna play no more.
I need to see it. I need to see if I can go watch Deep Cover, man. I need to
extremely loving more than him.
Hold on, y'all. I got it. Hold on.
I need to go see. Oh, Deep Cover's on Tubi. Yeah, man. I'm finna watch Deep Cover and Boyz. Look, when I get out for this, I'm finna watch Boyz in the Hood and Deep Cover tonight. Like as soon as we get off,
Cover.
I'm finna go in there right now. Like the very next room, the TV is on the other side of this wall. I'm sitting. That's behind me. I'm finna go right in the next room.
Hey, look, y'all.
I'm finna turn on Boyz in the Hood and Deep Cover. Oh, Cuba Gooding Jr. That's funny.
Oh, you're right. Oh, wow. Oh, you are right. That is Cuba Gooding.
Let me play a little bit of it so you don't get in trouble about it.
Pound. Sugar Ray Robinson, the greatest fighter ever lived. Oh, come on, man. What about Joe Louis? The blood bomber. Now that was a great.
Oh yeah. Old Cuba.
All right, let's cut it at a minute. I appreciate it, Trey. That's awesome, man. I did not realize that, bro. I did not realize that. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for taking us back, man. But
yeah. Gangsters of New York, like they said, Gangsters of New York with
was with
that girl
Frank White.
Funny
with Frank White.
Boy.
Yeah, man. What's old boy name? Yeah, because old boy played Frank White, man. What's his
funny
name?
Thing, what's his name? I can't think of his name.
Hold on, I'll pull it up.
I can't think of his name. Also, he was in Hoodlum. That's right. He was in Hoodlum. He was in Gangsters of New York.
Hoodlum was good.
Hoodlum was great, man. I loved it. Also, King of New York, though.
He was in
King of New York. It wasn't Gangsters of New York. It was King of New York.
King of New York. King of New York was good. Yeah, man. And so I mean, Fish has been in so many movies, man. Just a great. Also, went on.
You thinking about Christopher Walken?
Walken. There you go. Yeah, I can't.
Who is Christopher Walken?
He's Frank White.
Yeah,
he's Frank White from King of New
played
York.
Frank White. Man, he's been in a whole lot of movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's Frank White from King of New York. But yeah, Lawrence Fishburne was also in Blackish. Morris Chestnut. The ladies love them some Morris Chestnut.
That they do. They
love them to this day. They love them some Ricky from yeah, man.
Yeah. Still to this day.
That's Christopher Walken.
That is Christopher. That's a young Christopher Walken. Yeah.
Yep. Still to this day. The ladies love Morris Chestnut.
They love Morris Chestnut. And Morris Chestnut went on to have a great career. He was in The Best Man, which is one of my favorite movies ever.
He was a football player in that too.
Yes, he was.
He was Ricky reincarnated.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. And he's done. He's had a lot of. He's been on a lot of hit TV shows as of recent. Yeah, man. He's got a hit TV show now. He's still doing his thing.
We play a doctor or something, right?
I think so. Yeah.
It's in Atlanta.
Yeah. He's still doing his thing.
Yeah, man. And then we got to talk about Nia Long, okay? Because Nia Long is one of my favorite movies ever, and that is Love Jones. One of my
that's a good movie. That's a good movie.
Favorite movies in the history of ever. I love it so much. I think I've done the podcast twice on it. But love her. She was also in Soul Food. And I think she was also in The Best Man. And of course,
yes, she was in The Best Man. She said, I don't want to hear about no 2 peas in the pod.
Oh my God, bro. I gotta set up this scene, right? Bro, I gotta set this up. Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Y'all gotta tell me when to go. All right, let me get into character. Right, y'all ready?
All right.
Yeah.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
My hormones are raging. I've been sitting here all day, and I don't want to hear about no goddamn peace. Fuck you. Good night. That's my favorite line ever. That's my favorite line. Because look, in the moment, right? Taye Diggs he's still trying to score. He's beat up. He's got a black eye, and he's like, well, we're 2 peas in a pod. And she's all in her sexy teddy, and she's like, no, absolutely not. It was hilarious. Anyway, one of my favorite scenes. But Angela Bassett went on to do What's Love Got to Do with It, right?
Oh yeah, won an award for that, right?
Yes,
won an award. With Lawrence.
Yes.
She also played Katherine Jackson in the American Dream.
She sure did.
The TV movie.
She sure did. She sure did. Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, guys,
she also played in Wakanda Forever.
She sure did. She was Black Panther's mom, right? Yeah, she was.
Mm-hmm.
She was Black Panther's mom. So
that is still one of the worst pictures I've ever. One of the worst AI pictures of me.
You look just like your dad in that picture, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I look like I'm about 30, 40 years older than I am.
You're talking about that picture. I thought you were talking about Wakanda Forever.
No, I'm talking about this picture of me in the background.
Bro, look at my skin. It looks like leather.
Hey, look man, at it. Look. Man, your picture look a whole lot better than mine. I don't even know who that dude is. I'm supposed to be.
That look like your daddy, man.
Like B-Rich said, it does look like my pop.
Oh my God.
Like my pop, man. It does. It look It looks like my pop for real. The only thing, if I took the hat off and just had a bald head under there, it would be almost identical to my pops.
Well, I tell you what, the next time I'm gonna get a picture from you guys.
No, absolutely not.
Can't do it. And we'll do that, man. I tell you what, man. I personally gave this movie a 10 out of 10. It is one of my favorites ever. I watch it every year, but I want to hear what you guys rate it and why. And B Rich, let's start with you. What do you rate this movie out of 10?
Boyz in the Hood, man, it's one of my personal favorite movies. Like I told y'all, it was something in my childhood, man. Growing up, working at the movie theaters, it was like, matter of fact, I was hired for Boyz in the Hood, the release, because they needed a lot of ushers. They knew it was going to be a lot of people. I was hired because of this movie at National 7. I give it a 10 out of 10. Everything was great about it. Ice Cube, all these guys became stars in the movies. I mean, pretty much half the cast became something and did more movies. It was, Cuba, Morris, Ice Cube. 10 out of 10 for sure, man. And it was a movie that as a black kid, it made you think, what was going on in our society. It was some learning. It was still some stuff for people our age where it didn't make it lame. It was good. It was just good all around.
Agreed. Trey?
Boyz in the Hood, instant classic, definite 10 out of 10. One of my favorite Tony songs was featured in the movie.
Just me
and you.
Hey, soundtrack.
Yes.
Trey.
Yes.
Soundtrack. How to Survive in South Central.
Yes.
Man, rule number 1. Get yourself you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I used to listen to that because it was when I was cleaning the movie theater, Trey. We'd pick up all the popcorn and the drinks, and that song would play, man, and I would listen to the whole song every time, man. Go ahead, Trey.
And honestly, man, I'm sure y'all noticed the scene when they were looking for the guys. The scene when they were looking for the guys after Ricky died. Yeah. They used that saxophone and all those horns that's playing in the music when they're looking for them. They use that a lot on social media videos now. They make a lot of social media videos talk about when you hear this soundtrack, this is about to happen. Like that has made its way back over the last year. You hear it on a lot of social media videos that people make. And the acting was good. It launched some careers of some people who went on to do really, really great things and have long careers. Man, I loved it, man. I loved it. Loved the movie. Every time I see it, it's just like it's my first time watching it. Love Boyz in the Hood.
Hey man, me too. Definitely enjoyed it. What you got, B Rich?
This is song talking about.
Let's go. All right, wait a minute. Let's split up. No, man, I don't think we should.
Well, I don't want to mess up your
Yeah. Okay.
YouTube.
Yeah. No, I know the one you're talking about. I know the one you're talking about. Yeah. Don't. Guys, look, man. Number one, I want to thank y'all for taking your time to come and talk to me about Boyz in the Hood. And to everybody who joined us, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Guys, I had fun. I don't know about y'all, but
we did too.
This was a fun time. And if you're up for it, we can do it again, man. You guys.
Hey, look, I got 2 requests.
What you got?
The 5 Heartbeats I'll Do With You and the Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay, that's a bet. That's a bet.
Yeah.
All right. When y'all want to do the 5 Heartbeats?
Man, you just let us know, man. Like something real easy for both of us. I know Fridays and Saturdays good. I don't know if that's good for Trey, but I'm with whenever.
Okay. All right. That's a bet, man. Well, hey, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't shout out the waterboyz. And y'all know who the waterboyz are. They are, excuse me for saying this, but the modern day 2 Live Stews. I mean, they're it.
We'll take it. We'll take that.
That's who you are. So, but hey, guys, just in case you live under a rock and you don't know who they are, guys, tell them where they can find you.
Hey, man, look us up at the waterboyz Show on all socials. That's TheWaterboyz Show on all socials and on YouTube. Check us out at the waterboyz Show, spelled the same way, but throw a 404 behind that bad boy. 404, shout it.
404. I love it,
man. That's when soundtracks used to be good, man. Around this time. They had good, I don't even think they make music for soundtracks anymore, do they?
No. Hey, I tell you what. Give me your top 3 90s soundtracks to movies.
Well, let me try to go ahead and do it real quick because I do have to jump off.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
I think Menace to Society was awesome.
Yep.
Was an awesome soundtrack. Man.
Yeah, that's the Spice One. All them on there.
Everything was Spice One, MC8, man. Man, they had a bunch of R&B songs I got to go back and listen to, man. But it was absolutely awesome. Darn, top three.
I'm gonna go Above the Rim.
Above the Rim was awesome. Above the Rim was good.
You ain't lying on that one, bro. Regulator.
Above the Rim was real good, man.
That was like one of the top ones, man.
Yeah. T-Terry said Deep Cover, which I think
was Juice good?
Juice was good. Here I Am, R.A.W. Wait, no, Enough Respect, Dude. That's Big Daddy Kane's Enough Respect, Dude. Yeah, that was. And then Eric B's, I guess I didn't know the ledge. So yeah, that was a good one. Well, hey, Trey, I know you got to go, man. Brother, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Be Rich, thank you for joining us. Hey, man, to everybody who joined us in the chat, we can't thank you guys enough. We appreciate you. And
yes, thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Hey, man.
Hey, man, shout out my partner, Manuel, man. Appreciate you, bro.
And listen to everybody out there watching this on this channel. Make sure y'all, man, like, share, subscribe, man. Shout out the boy T Will. I told Terry, man, anytime Terry come to me and ask me, to do some content, I'm with it. He's been one of our hugest supporters, man. Really, really great human being. Plus, he from the East Side. You know what I'm saying? Plus, he from the East Side. Make sure y'all support old T Will, man. Support T Will and everything he does.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. And I feel the same way. Gentlemen, y'all have a great night. Guys, if you want to see me, you can see it there on the picture right there. So that's all my socials and contact. You guys have a great day. If you want to check out Michael, Jordan and myself will be doing the movie Michael tomorrow on For My ATL Movies. So come check us out. Other than that, waterboyz, thank you both. You guys have a great night. Everybody in the chat, good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
This movie was about
Lights, camera, action is going down. For my ATL movies, when we run this town with your host T Will, keeping it real. From the A to the screen, you can feel the thrill. Rolling with the classes, we're setting the pace. Highlighting the magic of our soulful space. Got the vibe, got the crew, making it tight. When the screen lights up, everything feels right. Grab your popcorn, let's make it loud. T Will, it's movie time, ATL style. Stand proud. From the silver screen to the hearts we steal. T Will, every frame we capture is a real deal. Talking premieres where the stars align. ATL views, they really shine. Behind the